Hello, Coach Travis here with another calculus video. So we've got derivatives of trig functions here. So what is the derivative of this function at the point where x is equal to pi over 2? So all right, well let's just do this problem. Let's just make short work of this problem here, and then we'll talk about what it means, because it's pretty interesting. So all right, so my function is f of x is equal to 2 times the cosine of x plus 3 sine of x. And so I want to find the derivative of this. And so I know that, let's see here, f prime, well, so the 2 is a constant multiple, so that can just stay there. And the 3 is a constant multiple, so that can just stay there. And then we know that the derivative gets along well with addition signs, so the addition can just stay there. And so now basically what I need to worry about now is what's the derivative of the cosine of x, and what's the derivative of the sine of x. And hopefully at this point you've got that memorized, but in case you don't, here's the list of derivatives of all the trig functions. And so you can see there that, okay, the derivative of cosine is a negative sine of x, and the derivative of sine is a cosine of x. All right, so there's our derivative, but then we're not quite done with the problem yet, because it did say it wants to know what is the derivative at the point where x is equal to pi over 2. So there's one more step that we have to do here, and that is we need to put pi over 2 into this derivative function. So we've got f prime of, I want to put pi over 2 in for x. So all right, so this expression then becomes, well, I'll go ahead and make it a negative 2. So it's negative 2 times the sine, and now instead of x, we have a pi over 2, and then plus 3 times the cosine of pi over 2. And then now this is where you have to think about your trig functions, and hopefully you remember what the sine of pi over 2 is and what the cosine of pi over 2 is. And you can pause the video and think about that for a minute, because as a calculus student you should know that stuff. And so the sine of pi over 2 is 1, so this is just negative 2 times 1. And the cosine of pi over 2 is 0. And so that means that our final answer is negative 2. So when we're all said and done here, the answer is negative 2. And so, okay, so that was all well and good, but I want to show you, this means something. This isn't just a mindless computation, although I guess the way we did it, it was a straightforward computation. But this negative 2 actually means something, right? So what you should always remember is that the derivative is the slope of the tangent line. So I could go ahead and draw a picture of this. So let's get rid of all of this. And if I draw a picture, so here's a picture of the function 2 cosine of x plus 3 sine of x. So here we got a picture of the function. And right here we have the point where x is pi over 2. Because 1.57, that's a decimal approximation for pi over 2. And so I could draw, if I wanted to, I could sketch a tangent line at that point. And if you sketch a tangent line at that point, there's a picture of the tangent line. And what do we know? What is the slope of that tangent line? Well, let me think about it for a minute. Well, I was going to say something. I guess we know what the slope of the tangent line is because we did this problem. We know, oh, that's what I was going to say, is it going to be positive or negative? So if I look at this picture, I can see the tangent line is definitely going to have a negative slope. And in fact, the slope is going to be -2 because that's what we said the derivative was. The derivative was the slope of the tangent line. And in fact, in case you didn't believe me, GeoGebra is really smart. And in order to draw this tangent line, I had to tell GeoGebra what to draw. And you can see that I typed in a line that has slope -2, which is exactly what we predicted.